you. How is everybody? It's another Wednesday, and Wednesday means it's time for Mr. Rodger's Community. So I have some things to go over. Follow me over. So today, there's some topics that the students that I met with today brought to my attention, and I thought, wow, those are some really good topics. And so I want to start by going over a few of those. And some of those topics here today are going to be about, how to properly wear a facial mask, as this is something that we really want to know. And another thing was, there's a wonderful activity that maybe all of you might want to get involved with, and there's some prizes if you want to get involved, and I would love to have all of you get involved and maybe get a little gift card to Amazon. So let's go take a seat. Welcome to the 17th episode of Mr. Rodger's Community, and this is season 2, the second time we've met this year in this platform or format. So a couple things here I met with, and I was lucky to meet with the Learning Lab group that I like to talk to with the Mr. Rodger's Community, and they brought up a really good idea. And so I wanted to bring our friends here, Baby Bucky and Buckaroo here, into a little conversation. And this was brought up, hey, Mr. Hunwick, from a learning perspective, maybe we do a little video on how to properly wear our mask. And we're out in public, we're with our friends, and it's good to have these masks on as much as possible, and especially when we're near students inside. And when we go outside, sometimes we can be a little less lax, especially if we're physically distancing beyond 6 feet. But so one thing I wanted to just go through is, how do you wear a mask? So we got Buckaroo here, and we're going to use the disposable mask to kind of go through this. And this information comes from the CDC. And so that's the Center for Disease Control. And so the guidelines here are pretty simple. So we have here your standard disposable mask. There's a blue side and a white side to it. So the blue goes on the outside. And the first step is, you always want to wash your hands. So you want to wash your hands, make sure that your hands are clean before you touch or use a mask, because you could contaminate that mask if your hands are dirty. So we're going to use that, and when you go to these masks and you feel it, there's a little wire at the top. That's the top of that. So wire at the top of the nose, okay? So we're going to put it on here, and the second step is, we want it to go over our nose here, and the wire can kind of bend. It can bend to make sure that we're going over that. Put it around our ear, and sometimes if the mask is a little large, we can twist this to make it go around our ears a little bit better. And the next thing is we want to make sure that it's secure and tight under our chin area, and make sure that it's as tight as we can get it. I'm kind of bending that wire here along my nose. We want it as tight as we can get it to our cheekbones so that we can do that. And the last and final step is, we want to make sure that we can breathe and breathe easily. We don't want to make sure that we're in a circumstance where we're struggling to breathe, because then it may affect our health negatively. So anyways, I thought that was a really good idea by the group that I met with today, that we could go over together how to properly wear a mask. And one of our episodes earlier last year, we had a guest doctor, Dr. Zuliani, who went over how to properly wash our hands. So maybe that's an episode that we could look at in reference to that piece. So that was one other thing. I'm going to go over, and I got Baby Bucky and Buckaroo here. We're going to look at maybe a contest that we can get involved with. And that contest is a time capsule contest. So here's some information on that.
Oh, a contest, and you can win an Amazon gift card, Buckaroo. Isn't that awesome?
Oh, that would be great to win that gift card from Amazon. I'd get some oats.
I'm here with Baby Bucky and Buckaroo, and behind me here is the Brownell Time Capsule. So I'm going to go over some information on what this is, and hopefully you can get involved in our good old time capsule and enjoy maybe winning some prizes like an Amazon gift card. the Bronco Time Capsule Challenge. So this is what we got. The Time Capsule Challenge is based around a vault or time capsule that we have at Brownell, and it was created to celebrate the 100th anniversary of the school. It's located in the main hallway just outside of the main office. And in the year 2058, the school administration is going to open this vault or time capsule and present the contents to the Bronco community. So what we need is an archivist. And an archivist is kind of like a historian of sorts. And Brownell needs some students to step up and provide generations of future Broncos a history of the events of the school year 2019-20 and our current 2020-21 school years as it relates to the COVID-19 pandemic. So here's some optional opportunities and overviews. You can complete this challenge individually or collaboratively with others. There's going to be one challenge winner per grade level. All entries are going to need to be submitted prior to or on Friday, December the 5th, 2020. There's a scoring rubric that I'll go over in a moment here to determine the grade level contest winners. The winners, each person, can get a $15 Amazon gift card per grade level. So let's step up, archivists. Here is the information around this. So the Time Capsule Challenge project. What is it? What's the history? The archivist of the COVID-19 pandemic, we'd like to get your perspective from a societal vantage point, meaning the world, nationally, state. How's it being handled? What's your maybe family perspective? Provide maybe a glimpse into your family's life in this isolation style lifestyle. Student, teacher, and or school perspectives. You can explain what it's like being physically isolated from learning at school to this home learning environment. And also the future, like the race to vaccinate, life in this new normal, as we've called it. And so some of the key components are: be the voice of the future generations. Use your unique special talents to project what this might be. The project may be submitted through technology like Google Slides, what I'm doing here, maybe a video written in essay form, or some artistic expressions, or a combination of all these. There's no limitations. The project can be as long or as short as you'd like to need it to be to determine adequately these topics to your students, staff, and community in the year 2058. So whether or not your submission is chosen, it's something that you'll have forever to show later in life. And so here's kind of the point value. There's 25 points. Content, creativity, clarity, and composition. Those are all kind of the pieces for this rubric that will be used to determine the winners. So again, all submissions due Friday, December the 11th, and we'd love to have many of you involved.
So today, we had some questions from students, Mr. Hunwick, about the school motto. Do you think you could talk about that?
The other question that came up, and you even heard Bucky and Buckaroo bring it up, is the school motto. And we see this all over the place, and it's our motto: together we will. And together we will, we'll have it on our t-shirts that we have. And we like to say also, be an upstander. And these are two terms that we use often and interchangeably around Brownell. Together we will is our mission. That's our mission for the school as well as our school motto. And what that means is that we know individually we can get things done, but we can get things done far better, more effectively, and in a way that's collaborative. So together we will is our motto, that we want to always embrace inclusivity, bringing friends into the fold and bringing those that maybe we don't know. We can spark new relationships with everyone so that we can have inclusive types of activities, lessons, and all of that. So together we will is really how we try to approach things. Being an upstander, this is perhaps one of the more difficult things that we will ask of you as young adolescent learners here at Brownell, and hopefully it carries over into adulthood. And what being an upstander means is when in the face of an awkward or maybe situation in life, that you may be asked to uphold a negative situation to be positive, and that maybe sometimes taking a stance when others are doing things that you don't agree with is important, and it's not easy. But being an upstander is something we also encourage and would like all of you to think about, that maybe in those circumstances it is not easy to do what's right, and especially to do something when you're alone in the face of being in a group. But being an upstander is very important. So together we will, and being an upstander, two phrases you're going to hear a lot here at Brownell. And that was brought up by our, again, our little cohort that I met with at our learning lab today. I have a couple announcements, and those announcements, one of them is in regards to our library. We're going to have, coming out in the Bronco Bulletin on Friday in a couple days, our library is going to be providing us the opportunity to obtain some books and do some book exchanges. You're going to be able to come into the courtyard here at Brownell, and it's going to be a great opportunity to get some books and do some reading, and that's one of my, of course, really important hobbies and pastimes. I love to read a great book. So the other thing that I wanted to go over is activities, clubs, and sports. I'm going to have an announcement coming up here in the next day or so, October the 1st, about where we are as a middle school in opening up activities and some sports and clubs and all of those kinds of things. But
I'm Benny, and I'm Baby Bucky and Buckaroo's buddy, and I'm so excited to learn that we might be able to have clubs, activities, and sports together again. Yahoo!
Well, that's a wrap. And I just love having the opportunity to speak with all of you, and especially to gain some insights, some thoughts from my cohort in the Learning Lab here today. It's always wonderful to see such wonderful adolescent learners and get your just unbelievable input into what we can do here at Brownell to make it a better place for us all. Last and finally, this announcement is more to parents. Tomorrow night, 6:30, virtual, is our parent orientation. And I look forward to having some time with parents and discussing some of the things here at Brownell, both in a face-to-face world as well as in a remote world, so that we can orientate ourselves as best we can to make for a great learning environment for our students. Well, have a good one. Enjoy. Start of a new month tomorrow, October, and we're going to kick it off tomorrow in the best way possible. Well, again, thank you for being who you are. Together we will.